Welcome again, YouTube. This is Max One Chase One. Today's segment is going to be on drilling out the 1984 Honda Goldwing 1200 Interstate. I'm going to be drilling out the pilot jet plug, and they are located right there. I did go and get a long drill bit, but still they didn't have one the size for a 1/64th. So what I did, I had a short 1/64th, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Dremel Tool. I'm going to see how that's going to work, since I can reach that Dremel Tool right into here and drill that plug out. Stand by. I'm going to try to see if I can keep you guys in the loop how I did it, but such tight quarters I might not be able to do it, so I just thought to show you steps as I get to certain places. Stand by. Now, as you can see, I use my Dremel tool to go right between the fan belt and right to where that hole is right there. See where the tip of the drill bit is? And I was surprised, I guess because the plug is made of aluminum, that the Dremel tool could do the drill. So I did the drill with the hole with the Dremel tool, so that 1/64th is in there. So now I'm gonna go down around to the others and do the pre-drill with the 1/64th and the Dremel tool. And then after that, I come by with the larger drill bit with the drill itself, because now I've got a pilot hole. Now I am back here on carburetor number 4, and I'm gonna drill this pilot plug out. So the same thing, I turn my Dremel tool on about the lowest setting I could get it. Nice straight shot. Oh yeah, too, what I did to help hold this throttle linkage back, I used a zip tie. Alright, here we go. And there you have it. That's how easy it is with a Dremel tool. And you can do this while it's still on the bike. Alright, I'm not going to show you 1 and 3, but I'm going to do them the same way, even though 1 is in a far-fetched area that's way back up in front of the engine. But once I take the horn off, it should make it easy. Even though I said I wasn't going to show you the other ones, but I did do the one for number 3, which is right here. You can probably see the hole right there. And then also too, see the zip tie I used on the brake lever against the throttle to hold it in place. When you make these small holes, make sure you go get you a small paintbrush that you have in your shed or something, and just dust any of your shavings out, because the less shavings you can get inside where the pilot jet is, the better off it is. If you don't have a small brush, go on in the house, get you one of your old toothbrushes, and that'll work just as good too. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and increase the size to a larger size, and if this next size, I think it's a 1/8, and I believe that might be enough. I will go to the 1/64th. Nah, I just used the 1/64th. I got to think of which one was it, 1/32. Well, I'll tell you that when I get to it. Okay, I have increased the size to a 1/8. So like I said, I'm back here on carburetor number 3. So that's the largest size I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna wind up and now do the rest of them in a 1/8, and then I'm gonna come back and use my screw and screw it in there to where it gets a good grip, and then see if I can wiggle the plug out. And I'm gonna show you why they don't want you to drill in too far. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you may be able to see the tip of the jet in there. but don't screw in too far. That's why I would rather use the Dremel tool, because I got better control on it. Here's an update, YouTube. While I was screwing with the 1/8 bit in the number 1 carburetor, as I start going in, I start seeing little bits of fluid start coming out, and then I figured, I said, well, the only fluid that could be coming here could be gas. So I stopped it because I didn't want to cause a spark and next thing I know I got a fire or an explosion. So I stopped it, touched it with my finger, smelled it, and it was gas. So that might be one of the problems with my rough idling, is that one of these jets may have worked out and it's beyond the 3.5 turns and it's letting gas just flow freely into here. So I'm now going to stop with the drilling on the number 1 cylinder, and I'm going to put the screw in, a smaller type screw, and then try to see if I can pull that out to see what's the turns on the jet that's right here. Well, I got the plug out for the number 1 cylinder, and also, as I can see it but you guys can't see it, there is a little bit of gas that's up in that hole up under the screw. So now I'm going to go up and screw the screw in to see how many turns it is going in, and see if that was the problem. Okay, YouTube, I took out the number 1 jet, and it was a beast to get out. So what I had to do, I had to wind up and configure me a little hook with a bread twist tie. And when I got the jet out, this little washer here, it is really corroded. And then also too, the tip, you probably can't see it on the video, but as you look at your jet, my tip is corroded here on the tip, so that might have been interfering with fuel flow and air flow. So I'm going to do a real good cleaning on these, even though some people say, well, why don't you just go and get brand new jets? Well, I don't like to worry about it. If I can clean it and get it back to original, I'll do it. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to clean it up as good as I can. So this is jet number 1. So I'm assuming that the rough idle on it is it's got to be in the pilot jets. So you guys that are doing that, start looking at your pilot jets. Now, as I put the jet back in the number 1 carburetor, again, I screwed after I cleaned it up and everything, and screwed it back in all the way in until it just touched, and then came out 3.5 turns. I didn't start it right up right away, but I figure I'd rather wind up and come back and check out number 3 while I'm at it. So I checked the number 3, and after I took the plug out, screwed the jet in, it only went 2 turns. And for it to go 2 turns, something has made it go from 3.5 to 2 turns. Either it was the previous owner from long ago, because I've had this bike since 2007. So I unscrewed it, 3.5 turns, started it up, and it ran another 50% better. So now I'm going to wind up and now I'm curious to check 2 and 4 on the other side, and as I go through them, I think my problem might be solved, which I'm going to cross my fingers and hope it is. And if the jets need cleaning, even though I am going to take this jet out on number 3 and check it for cleaning as well, but it did improve the running on it. So with the jet being corroded a little bit on the number 1, and then on number 3, the jet was only screwed out 2 turns out of 3.5. So that could have made a difference. Alright, moving right along. Now I came over here to the number 4 cylinder. Took the jet plug out, screwed the pilot jets in, and this one only went in 2.5. So either the guy who had it before me, this old guy, he must have didn't know what he was doing, must have been looking at the California specs or something, but still I don't think 2.5 would have been it. So again, I unscrewed it 3.5 turns, started it up, running a heck of a lot better each time I go. So I'm gonna switch on over here to carburetor number 1. That one's gonna be a little difficult to get to because when you got to get that plug out, you got to pry the pair of pliers between the solid part here and wedge it out, and it'll come right on out as long as you have a good grip on your screw, and you wedge it up against this piece here. Grab it there, and you got to watch out for this piece. Your pliers will grab that. Grip it there and wedge it out, and it'll come right on out. Alright, moving on to number 1. I hope that number 2. Hope that number 2 may not be as bad, and I hope that that just kind of evens everything out. And then this mystery is solved. I got the plug out for the number 2 carburetor, and believe me, it was a beast to get out of there. But when I turned that one in, the screws on that one was only 3 turns. So I screwed it all the way in, screwed it out 3.5. Then I'm gonna start it and see how it reacts and how it acts. May have to run a little bit just to kind of see what it do, and if it's running pretty good, I'll let you guys hear it. Okay, YouTube, as you can hear it run, and look at the temperature gauge. It's still cold, so it's still running a little erratic while it's cold. But look at the response to it. There's no delay. And then if I give it some more idle, around about, let's go around the 2,000. Runs very smooth at 2,000. And just imagine, I haven't even taken the other 3 jets out yet to check those for cleanliness. So I'm gonna wind up in there and work on taking those jets out. I turned the idle up to about, I'd say about 1,500 so it can warm up. But now I'm gonna try to see if I can get it down to 1,100. Got a little bit of erratic in it, like it's got a little sinking need to get done. So let me turn this idle down just a little bit. About where I keep it normally. That's around about 11, 12, and it's idling pretty well. So let me go ahead and take those other jets out and clean them and see what they look like, what's the condition of them, and we'll go from there. Again, another response throttle. Quick up, quick down. Again, I think this mystery may be solved, but I'm still crossing my fingers until I check the jets. Now, you know when I said once before that I brought that other set that was on eBay? That can be a good fallback on. If one of those jets was in such bad shape, I would have went to that set and taken the jet out of that carburetor. So it may be worth to have another spare carburetor set like I had that I bought on eBay. Never know. Whole lot of things you can use off of that you could use right here. So just like with that number 1 pilot jet, it looked a little bad. I was gonna go down there to my set and take that number 1 off, or just either one of those pilot jets and replace it, but it seems like it's running pretty good right now, and I'm just gonna check the other 3. All right, let me get back at it. I just cleaned the pilot jet on carburetor number 2, how's it running. So it's running pretty good. I think what I need to do now is take it out on the road and let it run. Because I did spray some carburetor cleaner up inside the jet port. And again, it runs a whole lot better. Look at that idle. There's a little fluctuation, but it's the response I'm looking for. So I'm gonna take it on the road, run it down the street a couple of times, let it get nice and warm. But look at my temperature gauge. Again, like I said, it's still cold. Alright YouTube, I hope that fixed it. And if it is, I'll say yeah, it's fixed. If it's not, I will come back and I will say not quite. I still may have to do a carburetor sink on it, but I don't see the needle jumping that much, so I don't think it's a carburetor sink. I think I just need to wind up and really blow it out a little bit and get that carburetor cleaner out of the ports. Again, also too, I know I hate to keep going back to it, but the bike is running great even without that reed control valve that I talked about once before. So if you haven't taken your reed control valve off, it's a good time to do it. And then also too, if you're doing a single carburetor, do you see a reed control valve on that? No, you don't. So the reed control valve was a thing from the 80s where they was working about emissions and gas pollution in the air. So it's up to you. To me, I'm a happy camper without it. Again, if this is the fix, thanks for watching. Hope it helps you. I'm here to do a recap. You know, when I first talked about that, I was going to use that long drill bit, but that wasn't needed. So again, here's my 1/64. Here's my long drill bit of the 1/8 that I was going to use my power drill, but I changed that after I thought about it. I've got a Dremel tool, and I went with this 1/8, which reached into the slots very well. Now with my plugs, I'm gonna leave these screws just like they are, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my grinding wheel and I'm gonna grind these little points of the drill bit, of the screw bit off, even with the plug, and I'm just gonna tap these in just enough to get them seated back into the pilot place. So if I have to take them back out again, I can just grab the screw, pull it out. I'm not gonna waste the time with waiting on ordering new plugs, but I can use the same plug that's got it sealed with the screw in it, and it's ready for me to pull it out just by having a pair of pliers. Again, YouTube, if you like this video, if it's helpful to you, like, share, give me a comment. If it helped your bike run a little bit better, that's great. Again, I want to say thanks for watching. We went through the pole board conversion and now the carburetor issue. I think that the pilot jet and your regular main jets, your low and your main jet, are the problems. And also too, if you can take that reed control valve off, that will also help your bike with the idle thing. But I think that the pilot jet was the main culprit. Alright, like I always end it, max one thing out, chase another one. Thanks for watching.